The ASP Exploder is by far the most common ship in the game, commonly used as a taxi, exploration ship, and a generic forum dadwagon. However, it is also by far the most common gank magnet, since they are all outfitted like shit, and flown by terrible pilots who fly like headless chickens when attacked by players. You have to wonder, why are they all made of paper? Let's take a look at what Careerless recommends for an exploration build. Shield generator in the right place, but look at that health pool. I could sneeze, and it would get blown off. Instead, place that prismatic shield in there, with 2 A-rated shield boosters on the utility mounts. That's more like it. All things considered, this is a pretty decent stock exploration ship, but now it's time to pimp it out with those sweet engineering modifications and Guardian FST booster. Equip a bitching power plant, and apply the low emission grade 5 modification with the monstered experimental. Hang on, before we go any further, let's get rid of these pieces of junk, and equip some useful optional internals. Look at that, we even saved on some of the power requirements. Neat. This will provide enough power for everything, provided you don't have both the Guardian FST booster and AFMU turned on. This is a little bit of a juggling act, but with proper power priorities this won't catch you out. This extra power will help with 2 things, allows for future expansion of modules and lowers the ship's overall heat signature. If an overcharged plant was used here, this would have been a bad time. Let's get the increased range mod with the Mass Manager experimental to squeeze out some more jump range. Now we have about 50 light years to work with. Now let's lightweight our life support and sensors. Change the power distributor to a 2D, and apply the engine focus modification with a cluster capacitors experimental. This allows us to boost when the stock module could not. For the last core internal, time to get dirty drives. To increase the handling in normal space, you can pretty much apply any experimentals here. However, I would recommend either the drive distributors or drag drives experimental, since I like ships that don't feel like a brick with an engine. This last section will focus on increasing the health pool for our shields. Let's start with the prismatic, and apply the reinforce mod with the high cap experimental. While this increases our shields overall by only 100 megajoules, the shield boosters are the ones that are going to take advantage of this. Anyway, let's apply the heavy duty mod with the supercapacitor experimental. With these, this gets us about 560 megajoules, which is awesome. Let's name this build after 300 hours ... and equip a sick as fuck paint job to farm all the karma on the subreddit. Onto the build that goes around the bubble. Let's equip the best thrusters that money can buy, mod it for dirty drives with the drag drives experimental so that we can go fast as fuck. Get the best power distributor here. You can mod it for the charge enhanced, however a stock one will be adequate for what we need it for. Now, store all the optional internals apart from the prismatic shield generator, and place everything else as cargo racks. Look at that, we have a carrying capacity of 120 tons with the same defenses as before, and we go really quick. That's some good shit right there. But wait, we have some extra power now, so let's equip one chaff launcher, and another A-rated shield booster with the heavy duty modification and supercapacitor experimental. Now look at our shields. We have managed to get to a health pool that is nothing to scoff at. Let's name this build Bubble Asp, since it'll burst when its shields drop. Both of these builds will be linked in the description as well. Now, let's test these shields out by doing a trade run in open. Let's fill up with as much shit as possible.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
Now remember these 3 golden rules. Never ever go above 100 meters per second while entering or exiting a station. Turn your bandwidth meter on to determine if you're instanced with other players, and turn crimes on. The last one will help with 2 things. Gankers will be hesitant to fire on you near a station, and the ATR will be summoned if the person has notoriety. As we are coming to the system, you can see that the bandwidth is spiking, which means we are going to instance with some players. Look at that. We have Death Dingo in our instance. He is going to be my helper with how to escape a gank. As we are just about to get to the station, Dingo grabs me. This is a prime position for where most ganks happen. Due to the slow approach you must make. Let's put 4 pips to systems and put our thrust to 0. This will give the maximum shield strength and the shortest FSD cooldown. As soon as I drop, I push the nearest hostile key so that I can get a bearing on where Dingo is coming from. My aim is to keep at range as much as possible, since he has 3 gimbaled frags, which do an insane amount of damage at close range. Make sure to spam chaff as much as possible, since this will mess up gimbaled and turret users. Now, this is where things get interesting. Dingo has a power play weapon that interrupts FSDs, which he has hit me with. Therefore I'm in a bit of a pickle. I have to wait now for my frame shift drive to come back up. As I pass Dingo, I'm going to select a system, so that I can highway to, and mashing that button to jump.
Frame shift drive charging.
That was extremely close. Even with this engineered shield and boosters, Dingo's Grom Bomb nearly sent me to a rebuy screen. This was to demonstrate that when you submit on a Grom Bomb equipped ship, simply highwaying away does not always work. However, in this case it did. Therefore always submit. When you're being interdicted, you have a higher chance of survival if you do this. Now for the test that most of you explorers want to see. How does the exploration build handle when it crashes into a high G world? One of the most well-known places for testing a ship's shields is in the Akina system, since it has one of the most high G planets in the bubble. Now watch this. We have a downwards trajectory and are going as fast as possible, but with 4 pips in systems.
Another happy landing.
Now get out there and show those planets who is the boss.
This is fucking annoying. I don't know why you people are watching this shit anymore. The point has been made. You've seen all you need to see. Move on.